Hey Aaron, thanks for coming by. So this is the new Kyosho MR-04. We got to see this last year in December when you won your North American Kyosho box stock title. I would love for you to drive it and tell us your thoughts. Here you go.
All right, let's see what it's got.
So guys, Aaron does not know what I've done already to this car, and we're just gonna see how he likes it. If he crashes, what are his thoughts? So I'm gonna stand here and kind of talk to you guys about it as he's driving. So this car is $179, as we mentioned earlier. Some websites will have it more sooner than others. He's actually already driving it pretty good. Okay, Aaron, I'm sure you know by now that it is not the auto scale tires.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so he said definitely not in case you didn't hear him. So this is the Kyosho low height 30s in the front from the yellow bag, and then Kyosho radial 20s in the back from the pink bag, the same that we recommend our box stock races. I don't know if you saw, he had like a little twitch moment where he kind of saved it. Aaron, what do you think so far?
I think it's pretty good, responsive, it's smooth. These tires definitely feel new. I would definitely want to break these in a bit more before trying to go for a fast lap, but definitely very responsive, not as twitchy as the MR-03. It's smooth on the power.
Okay.
Definitely overall nice out of the box.
Hopefully you guys heard what he says. So he says it's nice, it's smooth. He's comparing it to the MR-03. Then he made a very interesting comment, which I'll elaborate on. He says it feels kind of twitchy, where the tires are really new, and he's dead on. These tires have less than 10 laps on them. We do want to mention that we did actually use Kyosho tape. When I was doing the installation, I didn't have the camera going. But again, in full transparency, the tires are on Kyosho tape. That's what we recommend. We don't recommend gluing for Kyosho box stock classes. Aaron's probably got 10 plus laps on it now. We've been shooting this live with him. So there's no trickery, no sped up or anything. We're not speeding anything up. Aaron, I'm gonna ask you, what do you feel like the left to right transition? How would you improve that? What would be the first racing thing you'd do to that car?
Me personally, I would go and swap T-plate out. That's only where I would start. I think that would definitely make the rear end more responsive and react how I want it to.
Okay.
Like right there, you saw I had too much rotation.
Yeah, so hopefully you heard that. So he said if he feels like there's too much rotation. Again, we know the tires are new, so what he's doing right now is what we call scrubbing. He's just breaking in the tires. Each lap will be faster because he's pushing a little more and more. He mentioned T-plate. Let's talk about that. That's typically a $5 to $8 part, or sometimes as much as $16 part, depending on which brand you're going with. Sometimes it's 16 because Kyosho will sell it in a 2-3 pack. A T-plate's kind of like your springs, right? It allows you to soften the movement left to right, which is what a T-plate will do in this scenario. So it'll either soften the car up or make it more responsive or stiffer. Everybody's got their own thoughts. We are by no means professionals. We are simply hobbyists at Houston RC. So we're not gonna get into any science behind it, but what he's saying is that he would like to have it maybe softer, maybe stiffer, whatever his preference is. As you can see, he's driving it box stock. In fact, what I'm gonna do is, just to prove we haven't done a T-plate or anything, on this next lap, Aaron, can you come near the camera so I can kind of pick it up and show and talk more about the T-plate? So he's coming in. Let's zoom in on the car, please. Okay, so he is referring to this thing that looks like a T. So a T-plate just kind of helps you with that. So when you go with a softer T-plate, like a number 2 or number 3, this side to side will be a softer motion. If you go with like a 4, 5, 6, the higher the number, it'll be more responsive. The stock ones, unfortunately, Kyosho does not tell us what it is. It's just a plastic piece, and it's typically one of the first upgrades that racers do. You can see we are running Kyosho batteries, Kyosho tires. We are running the Houston RC bearings. This car is now probably 15 laps old, and we're going to get Aaron's thoughts on this. Aaron, would you, while we're still on a live shot, be honest and kind of tell us, let's see if we can get Aaron in the frame as well. What were you driving at percentage-wise right now without knowing what the car has?
That was at about 70-80% because I didn't want to go too quick on the new tires. But overall, it's pretty smooth. I know it's got more in it with some fresh batteries, but it's got some speed and it handles real nice. Transitions are nice. It feels good out of the box. I like it.
Okay, so one takeaway I want you guys to know is he said he drove at 70-80%. That's very typical when your tires are new. Even though these are low profile tires, they're not broken in. In fact, these are so sticky and brand new, you definitely need to break these in. So it's very common for racers to take it easy. Again, since this is a box stock class, what Aaron could do in other classes he can't do. Like he could glue the sidewalls, he could use the plate inserts to kind of protect, keep it from traction rolling. But this is box stock, and I actually am using the stock wheels it came with. I didn't even bother with the wheels I showed you guys that are lighter. So what we're going to do is we're going to now give it to Aaron Correa and let him do his little touches. I want to talk to you about, for our viewers, tell me 3 things you would do. So you mentioned T-plate first for the handling. What would you do in terms of tires? You would break them in more before you start racing with them?
I generally would. I would run at least a couple packs of batteries through them. Definitely get some good practice and then be ready for some qualifying and racing.
Okay, tell me one other thing that you would do in box stock that would not be T-plate or tires.
Honestly, practice. I can't say it enough. That's honestly the best thing to do.
You heard it here from Aaron Correa. He said practice, which is absolutely true. So we're going to cut the video here and see if Aaron Correa can do some things that he would do on his car. One thing I want to mention that Aaron actually hasn't seen the underside of this car, so he hasn't pointed that out, is we're still running the 6-tooth pinion that the car comes with. So typically if you're racing, you will want to upgrade to the 9-tooth pinion, which comes in the box. That's why it's still box stock legal. And essentially 9-tooth pinion would give you more top speed, which if you focus on our track, we've got a proper straight up top, a straight under the bridge, and a long straight here. So with 3 straights like this, I would probably have a 9-tooth pinion. In fact, when Aaron Correa won the championship, what pinion did you have? Let's go back to Aaron.
So the class I run, which was an Eagle Novice, I had an 8-tooth pinion.
8-tooth pinion. Was that because Kyosho had it mandated?
Yes, those were the rules for the class.
Okay, if Kyosho had not locked you to 8-tooth, would you have driven on a 9-tooth?
I would have been on a 9-tooth.
Okay, so if you were still running box stock, and we do want to state once Aaron Correa won the championship, as our club rules go, if you win a big race or a series race, you would move up to the next class up. So he doesn't run box stock anymore, so it's the first time he's driven it in probably a few months. But if you were to set this car up here, you mentioned T-plate, scuffing in the tires more. Would you do a 9-tooth on this layout?
I would definitely do a 9-tooth on this layout.
9-tooth, guys. So some great tips from Aaron Correa. We're going to drive it some more. On the MR-03s, we did stuff like kingpin flips and all sorts of other stuff. I don't think we're going to be doing that. We don't change springs or anything because we want to keep it box stock. This car is fresh, probably 15 laps or so. Thank you so much for watching so far. We're going to let Aaron do his thing and then report back. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. Aaron's done what he wanted to do. He's going to do one thing at a time. So right now what he's done is 9-tooth pinion. And we're going to record a few laps with him. And then I will also do the timer to get an idea. Again, tires are only 15 laps old. Typically we would break in these tires regardless of the class you want to run. And if you're new and wondering why we're stressing on tires are pretty much I'd say 75% of the focus for at least the racers at Houston RC. They're always trying to match the tire to the track from a compound point of view, tread point of view. So I've been rambling now for about 45 seconds. Let's look at 1 or 2 more laps, and then I'll use a timer to see what kind of times he's running, and then we'll display it. So yeah, we'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, so with the 6-tooth pinion on the car, Aaron Correa was able to run 14 and 15 second lap times, which is decent, but it's not by any means fast. Once he put the 9-tooth pinion on, we had a full 10 lap session, and he was able to drop his times to 13 to 14 second lap times. Then he got off and asked him what's the matter, and he says, I want to do a T-plate because the tires in the rear feel like there's too much grip. And He's actually driving some really good laps right now, so I'm glad I'm talking while he's driving. And he was able to drop all the way down to the low 13s and even got like a 12.9. So we saw like almost a 2-second drop in lap times just by doing two things. The T-plate as well as going to the 9-tooth pinion. These are still legal. Now, let's ask him what he would do next while still staying within our box stock rules. Hey, Aaron, do you mind stopping for a bit?
There you go.
Okay, so talk to me on what would you do next?
So with this particular car, we're still on the auto scale wheels. So what I would probably do is go to the lighter Kyosho plastic wheels.
Okay.
Come in the multi-pack. So
Okay.
I would definitely go for those. They're also more durable. And then I would honestly go through the front end, just take it apart, make sure everything's moving nice and free, the springs, the arms, whatever needs grease or a little bit of lubrication. I might just add a little bit here, a little bit there. Don't want to put too much too much stuff off the track. But yeah, I would go through the front end, make sure everything's loose, and definitely get some lighter wheels. But this thing's got potential.
Okay, keep driving, and I'm going to explain to them what you just said. So guys, he mentioned wheels. What he's actually referring to are the same wheels that we showed you at the start of the video, and he was not here for that. He mentioned multi-pack. The reason he says that is because that was once upon a time an option from Kyosho where you could just get a multi-pack. What I showed you in the video earlier was just the N1 in the front and W2 in the rear. So that's lighter. What I am using right now, again, is the auto scale wheels that came with the car. Then the second thing he says is really important. He said I would go through the car, especially the front end, and grease it anywhere that needs grease, smoothing out whatever needs to be smoothed out. If there's any bind, he would focus on that, whether he dremels it or uses a hobby knife, that's up to him. But those are some like elite level tricks on how to dominate the Kyosho box stock class. Again, most of you that are brand new don't need to worry about most of the stuff we're discussing now. All you need to worry about is what you saw in the video. I do want to mention that we will probably have Aaron do what he just suggested. As you saw, he's rolling right now. He's got too much grip in the back. So both him and I agree that tires would fix the problem. But again, the problem is this is a Kyosho box stock class. We can't just put aftermarket tires. We want to stay legal within our class rules, and we have to have a spec tire. Otherwise, I can tell you the way he's driving so hard in some corners because the tires are just unfortunately too much grip in the rear, or it's traction rolling. So he would prefer going firmer. Aaron, would you go firmer in the back? Like, so if you were on 30s right now, you'd do 40s in the back?
I would do 40s in this case.
Sorry, you're in 20s in the back, you'd go 30s. Yeah. Okay, I see. Would you change the front as well?
I think I might leave the front alone for now, and the front's doing what I wanted to, so I might just start with the rears.
Okay, excellent. So again, we've got soft in the back, medium in the front, and he says he would probably go up one compound harder or firmer in the rear. So that would be mediums all around. But again, the car looks like it's already going faster. So again, brand new car out of the box, kind of undrivable. We did tires and it was drivable, got us to 14s, 15s. Then he did T-plate. Then he did a pinion, immediately dropped 2 seconds. Then he did a T-plate, and it looks like he got into the 12. So you can kind of slow down the video yourself. This is live, or I should say 1-to-1 scale right now in terms of time, and kind of see your own times. But from what we were able to record, he was able to get in the 12s. Our lap record for this class happens to be an 11.9 with an MR-03. With an extremely talented racer, as well as really properly broken in tires. This car is getting there. You can kind of see how he's able to like whip it through corners. This is the corner he's struggling with the most, and you can see he just went straight through. If he gets past 11.9, then he broke the lap record, which we were not hoping to do. This was just an informational video on how cool this car is. But hey, if it happens, it happens. Again, this is from Houston RC. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please let us know. We do have access to Kyosho folks. They are Texas-based, and they help us out when we have a question. We can get you answers properly. As always, check out HoustonRC.net. These cars are for sale by the time this video releases. We've got the both colors in stock in auto scale, as well as the kit. Once again, thank you to Aaron. Thank you, Aaron, for driving. Thank you, Reza, for doing the video work with us.